Good morning, hello, good morning. It's Sunday, the day the Lord has made. And I don't usually drink coffee, y'all know that, but today I've got to have me a little caffeine pick me up. Because I've got they call it a caffeine headache, or that's what they used to call it when I was a kid. I don't know if that's true. I think mine is allergies, so I'm going to take an allergy pill. I got a piece of that Frenchy toast and a piece of butter, and that's what I'm going to have for breakfast, because today we've got to cook. We've got to make our turkey, and I decided instead of dumplings, because Mother doesn't really like those big dumplings that I make, I'm going to make Granny's egg noodles, and we'll have turkey and egg noodles, and then no telling what else I'll figure out to cook. I just wanted to touch base. I'll be back in just a little bit. Okay, let's get our pans going. Let me move the skillet. Get that messy mess. Kind of just crumbs from that little piece of bread gets everywhere. And clean and clean and clean and clean. Well, I did have a mishap this morning with my sugar bowl. It kind of got mad at me and jumped out of my hand, and sugar went everywhere. But that's okay. We took care of it. That's all that matters. I sure hate yesterday about that video, y'all. I don't know what in the world. I thought it had uploaded the whole thing. And then I looked a few hours later, and it said that the video was only 5 minutes long, and I thought, well, now I know with my long-windedness, I know I talked more than 5 minutes, and I made that out meal, so I figured out what it was, and I'm sorry, but I do the best I can. You know, I'm here by myself. I'm not a videographer. I'm just learning, and Granny Pat praises me for being so smart. Well, some days I don't feel that smart, because I'm learning just like she is. So it's no skin off of my back to teach her, because I learn as I'm trying to help her. I have learned a lot, and she's my friend. And when you have friends, that's what you do in life, is you help them out when they need it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to skim our grease off of this. I told you there'd be grease. So that's why I let it set and get cold, is because I skim that grease off of this. I don't like a bunch of grease in my food. So I'll skim that off. What I don't use, I'll probably put in containers, because this is good turkey stock, and you can freeze that and use it just for flavoring in your soups. A lot of times I've even just took, because if you heat this, it'll become, see that old grease? You don't want that old grease in your food. Okay, a lot of times what I do is heat this, and I'll pour it in small things like muffin cups or ice trays or something, and then freeze them, then take them out and put them in bags. And then if I have, let's say, those green beans the other day, I'll just take one ice cube out and drop it in there to give it that good meat flavor. You can do it with chicken or roast or turkey or whatever. Okay, so we're going to let's just take about a gelatinous. See, now that's your dregs at the bottom. Now your pepper, see all that? That's your pepper and stuff that has gone to the bottom. And there's a little piece of a carrot. I'm just looking in here, because we don't need all of that. Okay, I think that would be plenty. And then I'll get some water, and I'll be right back. I decided, y'all, to put my mat out here because this kitchen is not big enough to cook a hot meal and have a bakery at the same time. So we're going to have to do our bakery first, and then we'll do our other part of it. I went ahead and I went to the store this morning. I had to buy me some bluebird flour because we do not have white Libby or any of that, and if you do order it from Amazon, it's so expensive, like $20 a sack or something. So I found bluebird flour I like. It's from Cortez, Colorado. I'll be back. Let me get my flour bowl and we'll put it in there with the bay leaves. Gotta undo these just like the old feed sacks. Let me get that out. Get our bay leaves down this end. For those of you that's new, I put bay leaves in my flour just because they did it for 100 years to keep the weevils out. We don't have weevils, but I do it just because it was done. That's why. So then you take your little, like your old dog food or feed sack, and then you got your beautiful flour, and that goes in your flour box. And I've got a flour bowl too. You know, a good thing for y'all to use, and I'll give you this tip. A long time before I started cooking a lot on here, I got me a crock pot insert that has the glass lid. So usually those are broke, but sometimes you can find them at Goodwill. And if you do, you can keep your flour in those round, or you may have one, not the crock pot itself, but the glass with the lid, and makes a perfect flour holder. And then I keep these, and one day we're going to make us a quilt. I've got a lot of these old flour sacks. So now we've got our flour in there. There's the bay leaves. Tradition. Okay. Now then, let me get this kind of cleaned up and I'll be right back. Alright, so for our old southern egg noodles, which I'm doing today, I'm going to get me 2 cups of flour. That. Make sure that I got 2 cups. I love this little cup, but you can't see. That's 2 cups. You can't see on that. I'll be right back. I heard somebody at the back door. I don't know what that noise was. You never know. You never know. Oh, today I got on. See, I got a flour on it. I got on blue today. Blue. Let me set my flour over here. All right. Now then, let's just sift that into our bowl. Y'all need to get y'all some of these things. I use them more than I do I use that more than I do my flour sifters or for everything. I use those strainers for just about everything. So then, let me, la. Let me get I want to kind of put this up. I just always kind of just put it up. So I can make a little ant hill there. Don't know why that makes any difference, but that's just the way I was taught, okay? That's all I can tell you. So we'll crack our egg just because since they're, they're fresh eggs. Okay, now, how much salt do I have? A teaspoon of salt. Okay, I think I might add a little more since it's a No, I'll go ahead and just kind of a heaping teaspoon. I'll just put that in there. And now we'll just, I think I'm going to mix that. Let me show you. I forgot to put my salt. So let's just mix that. Then we'll go back and do our well again. Oh well. Hope y'all are staying in the cool. Boy, I see on the TV, everybody's burning up. Well, I know I was going to the store. I just toot my little horn and they get out of my way. Remember I told y'all they asked me about my cataract surgery, and I told them, yeah, somebody said, well, them cops, don't they stop you? I said, no, they know me. I said, but after my surgery, they're going to say, oh, look, Billy Jean's had his eyes fixed. He's driving on the right side of the road now. So today I just putted a little store and got my stuff, but it was still hot, y'all. It was still hot. I've got to go take my blood pressure medicine. I forgot it till now. Okay, we're going to add our egg to the middle of that, and I just kind of do it like that. Just kind of do it. Then I'm going to add a tablespoon, which I'll use my little, that's a teaspoon, so I do it about twice, maybe 3. About 3 teaspoons of water. And I just work that in. Get that working. You want to work that. You can do this in your processor or anything that you would like to do. I was looking for my little chopper bowl. I don't know what I've done with it. You know my little baby Black & Decker chopper? I've got the blade and I've got the top part. I can't find the bowl. I've got another one in the box, but I hate taking it out till I see if I throw that away or something. I think I'm gonna add just a little bit more water. Not much. Another 2 teaspoons probably. Let me wash my hands and take this jewelry off, because I'm gonna have to get down in there to mix this. That's not working. Never does. You know, I tell you, if I mess up or I don't mess up, I got to thinking about, well, this just doesn't, this is not coming together like it should. So I got out my old cookbook, and I realized I had put 2 cups of flour in there, and I only needed 1 cup. So we're going to double the recipe. We're going to have some mini noodles. They'll be running all over the house. That's okay. We just add 1 more. It's easier, and I don't throw nothing away. It'll be easier just to add my egg, add my salt, another teaspoon. Then we'll add our water. Let's see how that works, y'all. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. That's it, y'all. That's what it was. I don't know. I think y'all are going to get tired of watching me, because I get mixed up. I've got a lot on my plate trying to keep everything going. And when I cook, I'm not used to explaining everything and videotaping everything. There's a lot goes on when you do videotape. You know, there's a lot more going on than what you realize. I still just one more teaspoon, so I added 6 to that. But you don't do that. You follow the recipe. I'm just going to put on there the one. I'm going to just put on the one. The one deal. Okay. Whew. One thing I'm going to put in here because I didn't do it, and I can add it to my recipe now, is I just want to, I know I'm not going to do that because I'm just going to do it the old-fashioned butter noodles and leave it at that. We'll see how they come out. Okay, let me get that off there and get me a little flour for my hands. Put me a little flour on my hands, y'all. I washed them. I'm not going to wear gloves at home, so don't even start. Now, if I was at the restaurant or cooking for people, I would do it, but I'm not here. I'm not going to do it. Y'all want to wear gloves at home, opera length or plastic or winter gloves, you go ahead and try to cook with them. I think opera length with satin gloves would be easier to cook with than winter mittens, but some of you might be very talented. You could use mittens. Get that in there. You want to knead this till it's smooth. Just a smooth. Probably won't be able to get all those dregs out. I might, but I'm not going to sit here and worry with it because I've already got an abundance of too much now as it is. Put just a little bit of flour out. I want to get that stickiness out of it. And if you want to, you know, you can, let me move this. If you want to, you can buy the egg noodles that are in the package already made. Okay, that's getting pretty good, y'all. Granny Pat, I don't think she likes me saying y'all, but because she thinks, I guess Brenda Ganton, everybody says y'all. Well, I didn't say it for many years, but then when I came back to Texas area, it just kind of reverberates. Y'all have heard my story, and I'm not going to tell it again about the head of Cosmopolitan magazine telling me to never change my speech. Okay. Now we'll just dust a little more. You don't want a bunch. Just so you don't stick, and it probably won't on these new mats. It won't stick. And I'll be right back. Let me get this and I'll show you. Now I can't find my stopper. I used my grandmother's rolling pin. See, these came with, I don't know if y'all have seen them, and you may know about them. They came with vinegar into them. I mean, you bought vinegar in them. And then this is, you got your rolling pin. So what you do is you fill that with ice water and put your stopper in, and it just helps your dough. But I don't know where my stopper is. I had it, but it's okay. We're gonna smooth this out. Just roll it out. You want it pretty thin. So a little flour. Keep your flour on there, because you want it thin. We'll get that about like a 18-inch well circle. If you can get it done, do a circle. And I want them thin, so I may do a 20-inch. That's about, better go a little more. Make it a little more of this. A little bit more, a little bit more. Y'all can fast forward this, but I can't take my hands off to cut off the camera. Y'all just have to be here with me in the kitchen right now, because I'm busy. Y'all just get over and sit down. Get your popsicle out of the freezer and sit over there and eat it, and I don't want to hear nothing out of you till I get this taken care of. If y'all want to eat today, y'all better leave me alone. That sounds like what my granny would tell us kids. Really, well, there wasn't a lot of kids. I'm the baby of my family, and my sisters both are. My oldest one's 7 years, and then my middle one's 7. So I was the baby. Yes, I was. And living on that farm, ranch, whatever, we didn't have no kids to play with. So I stayed in the kitchen, and I'm sure glad I did. Okay, y'all, what do y'all think? That's a pretty big, and it's pretty good there. Let's do it one more. Let me scoop that up just a little bit. Let's get that one more. Let's do one more. Get it just thin as we can. Okay. I want them thin. Okay, I think that'll be alright. I think that's thin enough, y'all. I think that's thin enough. That is thin enough. I'll just stack that. Cut it and stack it over there. Yeah, that's thin enough. Oh. Okay. Okay. I'll just stack those like that. And we've got our noodle made, okay? So let me get the mess cleaned up. We'll get the kettle boiling, pot boiling, and then I'll show you what to do. Okay, I got my carrots. Now I don't want, I'm not going to take, but just about These are, you see that white in there, that's the meat, the dregs that come off the meat, the proteins. And I don't think I want to use, I guess I could use all of them in there. There's nothing like good carrots when we make chicken and dumplings. So, I like them a little thinner. I love using these carrots though. You get them over there in the, where you're going to make the party trays. They're already cleaned. They're fresh. And I've been using them like I do my Great Value frozen onions for nearly everything. If it's carrots or onions, this is usually what I use, is these. I may save these other carrots because I've got another dish I want to make. Let's put that in with your put that in there with your juice stock that we're going to heat up. And get that all in there. Messy mess. Here's the mess. I get mess, y'all. And I cleaned it up and cleaned it up and cleaned it up. Okay, we're going to turn that on high to start with, just so that we can get that going. And I'm going to add to that is 2 cups of water. Okay. Now let's stir that around, get that. Remember, we took our grease off, so there's not going to have that bunch of grease in there. And I'm going to add some turkey to it. I'll get it and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm just going to take the turkey breast and just pull the skin off of that boiled turkey breast. Try not to waste. Now, if I'm doing this with chicken or turkey from start to finish, I usually use dark meat when I make chicken and dumplings. I don't use white meat because it just doesn't have the flavor that you want for a good southern chicken and dumplings. And it's probably the same way with our turkey. We're not going to use it all now because we've got to, remember, we've got things we got to do this week. We've got to use all our turkey, but we don't want to use it all in this. So I'm just going to chop my turkey. Now this makes it good, like a chicken salad, but make it into a turkey salad for your sandwiches to take to work, for the kids to take to school. Put a little pickle relish, a little bit of mayonnaise, a little pepper, a little salt. And I'm going to tell you, it'll be, and put it on your bread. You can separate the bread and let them put it in their, out of their lunch box. They can do it so the bread don't get soggy. And you send them a little container of it. Put them some orange slices in there. And if they like cheese, maybe a little piece of slice of cheese to go on it. Let them kind of make their own meal once they get somewhere. It intrigues them to try to do for themselves. We had to do for ourselves, and I don't like people doing things for me. I'm just that way. I have my own way of doing things, and I appreciate everybody's help, but I'm doing okay. Okay, now we're just going to put that in our turkey stock. Get that to boiling. me get the mess cleaned up. If I can turn the camera off, I'll be right back. Well, I told y'all, I didn't know where my chopper was. I found it, look. I'm so happy. I had chopped some pecans to add to my mother's ice cream sundae that I made her a few nights ago. And I had set it up in my spice pantry. Let me get something to drink. Granny Pat will be getting on to me. I didn't have any Dr. Pepper. I should have bought some. If she is coming to visit, I sure would. But I had this Coke Zero and some orange without sugar, and I'd bought it. And I thought, I don't know why I bought it, but I bought it. Cheers. Y'all get you something to drink. It sure is hot. Okay, let's look. See now, see that? It's starting to get hot there, y'all. We need it boiling for our noodles. I had one, now I've lost my measuring spoon. I've got some more up here. I had one of my viewers ask about cardamon. So, I'm going to just in response to him, I'm going to put a teaspoon of cardamom into this. It's a very good spice for meats. It can be used in he asked about the Frenchy toast. Yeah, you can use cardamom anytime you want it. It's a good spice to have. Okay, so now we're going to let that boil. Let me kind of get it. Okay. Now I'll show you. I just put my noodles up in the freezer for a minute, just so they get so they wouldn't stay room temperature-ish. And I want small noodles, not humongous. We've got too many because of my mishap. But I cut them just little, make a little flour on my hand. Oh wow. I'm gonna do this kind of hurriedly because I want to get it kind of done. I've got to talk to Granny Pat in a little bit. We're alive. Tonight's supposed to be alive. If I'm alive, we'll have a live. So y'all know, if you watch this and we go live, we'll go about 6 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock her time. Now, we get these in there, get those around there and get that. You want that to cook. Might look a little strange, but you know, we don't care around this. We gotta put pepper in them. Remember? Forgot. I forgot. Now just put that. Let that cook a little bit, but just put your lid on kind of sideways on that. And I've got them really boiling, y'all. That's what you have to do. Now see, that liquid is not getting as thick as I like it. So I'm going to take my potato masher, and I'm just going to mash my noodles a little bit. That'll give you that sweet Sue dumpling kind of, now don't mash them all, you don't want, but that'll get some of that starch out of them noodles. And then they'll have a chance to, that's just something I learned from Granny. Especially with a homemade noodle. You can sit there and do it all day with your spoon like I'm doing there. But you want to cook that down. And if you have to, you can add some thickener. But we're just going to let that cook down. You need to cook them noodles for at least 30, after you add them to that pot, 30 to 45 minutes. I'll be back. Okay, let's check our, let me get my towel. Get my red towel. See how those are cooked down? Fluffed them up. Let's just put a little out and let it cool. Make sure that you're not sticking. That's why I like these kind of granite pans, as they let that cool a minute, we'll see. Okay, let me try that and let it cool. Don't want to burn your mouth, y'all. Oop, I dropped my noodle. Ain't that something? Wonder if I didn't lose my brain today. Well, those noodles are like the old-timey noodles. Now they're going to be different than what y'all are accustomed to because, but they're good. They're a good noodle. They've got a good tooth to them. I mean, they're thick, they're not slimy, and that's just the way they're supposed to be. But if you just want to cut my, I'm going to cut my pan off and just let it sit here. I'm going to stir it one more time. And the more those noodles soak up that liquid, the softer they'll get. And they really have a good, this all has a good flavor. So, that's what I'll tell you right now. Our turkey, let me get my towel up. Our turkey and egg noodles. See how that's, let me hold it up there so y'all can see. Those are good turkey and egg noodles. The noodles are fluffy, but they're not going to be like a biscuit dumpling or they're going to be a harder noodle. So if you want them to be real soft, you better buy those in the package because these will be a denser noodle and you'll think, oh, that I didn't do it right. Well, these are just old-timey egg noodles, and we didn't add any butter to them, so you have to realize it's just a stone noodle. But this is what I was aiming for. Now, I'll just tell y'all, tonight I think Granny Pat and I are going to have our live show, so I've got to get ready to do that. I've got to get Mama fed. I've got to get the babies washed and the clothes washed, and the cows fed, and the cows milked, and the goats milked. Not really, but it sounded good, didn't it? I'll say, God bless you, God bless me, God bless the United States, and I wish you was here to eat with us. I hope y'all have a good week. We'll talk before then. Bye-bye.